This suit really doesn't suit me, does it? Let's get changed into something more comfortable. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Matthew Jones Golf channel on IGTV and on YouTube. Today we've got a slightly different video to show you. So yesterday I went out and shot quite a lot of footage, but as previous days and as today is as well, there's some really bad winds about, so that completely ruins a lot of my footage. So rather than give you another video that has a hell of a load of wind noise over it, I'm going to show you what I did yesterday and I'm going to commentate over. So it starts with me on the range getting some practice in, and then I go out on the course. So I'm going to commentate you through what happened on the course and be probably quite brutally honest with myself about what went right and what went wrong. As you'll see later in the video, it was a particularly frustrating day where I just didn't make any putts and made a few silly errors which prevented a good score. But I hope you enjoy the video. It's something slightly different, so let me know what you think, but we'll catch up at the end. Okay, so here I am on the mic doing my commentary. I hope that you can hear me quite well. So, as I said earlier, it was too windy to really talk during playing, so I'm going to commentate over. So we started on the first hole at South Beds. It was about 180 yards, and the wind was probably just behind me and off the left. So I went 8-iron, and obviously I'd just been on the range, so I'd hit quite a lot of 8-irons at that point, so I felt probably quite confident with that club by that point. Sort of tried to aim left. The pin was front left as well, so it wasn't really the most accessible because the way that the green slopes. It wasn't too bad of a strike, but to be perfectly honest with you, it left me in a pretty rubbish position just in this bunker. Now with this shot I had to carry over the lip, over a fringe, and then try and get it to stop. In the end, rather than trying to fly it, I kind of just tried to chunk and run it, which actually worked okay, as you're probably about to see. It did run out, and I'm actually quite happy with the result. You'll see just now it starts to trickle down the hill and rolls out. But from the angle you're about to see, it was actually probably not quite as close as I first thought. Having said that, trickled it down the hill, dead weight, put it in the cup, level par, good start. On to the second, which is a par 4. I think this plays probably about 420, 430, maybe a little bit more. Again, wind with off the left. So really this was, all systems go. Just let it get up and give it a good old-fashioned rip. The trees they've cut down on the right as well make this a lot more attractive to play. So for me now, this has gone from like a really tough hole to something that I stand up on and think, yeah, good opportunity. Absolutely flushed it. It kind of came off the club face right to left, and the wind just pushed it back dead centre of the fairway. Big rip. Left me this, which was, I believe it was 110. So I was between clubs because of that wind, and obviously I've been working on these shots quite a lot recently. So in hindsight, I think I probably should have gone with my gap wedge, but I did go with my sand wedge and just tried to kind of hit a low one that would just catch the breeze, spin up and stop. Well, I'd certainly hit it low, but to be honest, it was, I don't know, half a groove off being an absolutely pure thin. So it ran through to the back. It pitched on the green, and because they're soft, it stopped, so that wasn't too bad. Again, I left this putt, which is a little bit tricky, slides left to right or right to left from this view. And to be honest, at one point I thought I might have made it, but it did just stay away. But again, you know, not too unhappy about making the par 4 there. You know, take it on to the next and see what you can do. So again, another drive where I've got massive wind width. You can probably see it in my trousers there. The fairway bounces from right to left, even though it's a very straight hole. So I usually just try and aim this one to the right side and let it bundle down. Again, gave it a bit of a rip, hit it really, really well, exactly where I wanted it to be, and couldn't be happier. I do apologise for any croakiness in my voice. It is pretty early in the morning for me to be doing this. Left me nothing really. It was just a pitch with the lob wedge, and to be honest, absolutely disgusted with the way I hit this. Really quite heavy, and like really lucky that even got to the green. You can see from this putt here that like from that kind of distance, it's just inexcusable to be that far away from the hole. That should just be, I don't know, 3-4 foot, tapping your birdie, say thank you very much and walk off. So stood up over the putt, you know, probably a bit angry, and thought, oh, let's just make it. I thought I've absolutely hit this dead centre, and it stops on the lip like that. I couldn't believe it. I thought there's no way that hasn't gone in the hole, and I mean, it was hanging over the lip, so I still have no idea, with the wind behind it, how that's not gone in the hole. You can see my bemusement there. I would have waited longer probably if I was in a medal. Tapped it home, still level par through 3. So I skipped over now because there was a Vits and a ladies game going on ahead of me, so I skipped across from the 3rd to the 13th tee. I still managed to play 9 holes throughout though, don't worry. This one then plays directly straight into wind, so I knew I had to keep this one just down a little bit on the traj, but really quite happy with the way I hit this one as well. Like, my driving at the moment is probably the strongest part of my game. I feel really confident. I've not always been that way, but you can see from the Club 12, happy with it. Left me a shot where the wind, because of the way the hole bends, kind of came into my face but was hitting off the right. So with the way I hit a draw, it can get pretty violent with this wind. Having said that, I had the ball slightly below my feet, which obviously sends it a bit right. So it's kind of that two-way thing where one thing's going for you, one thing's not, and you've got to try to find that middle ground to hit the best shot. In the end, this was about 155, I think, with maybe 5 yards up the hill, 160. So I hit the 9-iron knowing that the wind would be able to just kind of sling it, and that's exactly what it did. Lost my balance there a bit, just trying to force the ball, but actually a good result. It just found the left side of the green. Now this is stroke index 1, and into wind, people really struggle with this, so I was really happy to get the green in reg. Really quite a jabby putt, not one I liked, but I got it down there, left myself the tap in, and still level par with birdie chances. That's probably the most frustrating thing, but I think the outside birdie chances there, they're not, you know, gimmies. They're not 6-footers, they're 25-footers, and my proximity to the hole, I should say, just needs to get better. So after just saying how good my driving was, this one just sucked. To be honest, as soon as I hit it, I had no idea where it had gone. It went straight up into the sun. You can probably just see it in the top right of frame there. I had no idea where this goes. But in the end, found out that I'd obviously either pushed it or sliced it. It felt like it could be like a bit of a cut, and put myself in this pretty bad position. A long way out on a par 5 that really I wanted to get into to have a birdie chance, but obviously that went wrong quite quickly. Left me this shot. I went with the rescue club. I've still got probably about 270 to the hole here, so no point going for it with the 3-wood into wind. So I went with the rescue, just trying to rip it through that gap in the trees. The pin is kind of behind where all those trees are really, so I needed a cut, double cross myself, just trying to keep it into that line I think, and a bit hooky, which put me into these trees, or just outside of these trees on the left. It wasn't too bad. Again, this was directly into wind, and it felt like no matter what I hit I probably couldn't get there, so in the end I tried to hit a 9-iron as low as possible, slide it in left to right, and to be honest, when I hit this I thought that could be pretty good, and then as soon as it got anywhere close to being maybe 12 foot off the ground, the wind smashed it, kept it back, left me a really long putt. Well, I could have chipped this, but with the wind interface I thought if I get this up on the face it's just going to stop and ruin it, so I hit the putt, you know, into grain, into wind. I thought I needed to hammer it, obviously not that much, but managed to make this putt that you'll see upcoming, so not too dissatisfied with the way that went, but as I said, that's just another opportunity gone where I should be looking at making a birdie, and that's going to be the difference, you know, especially as we get into the summer, about whether I score well or not in these rounds. No real dramas though. I mean, it's all right to make a par when you've not had a particularly good hole, so yeah, not too dissatisfied. So this is now 15, par 3, about 188 I think it was, but the way that the wind now flicked meant that I had wind with, so I believe I went 8-iron again, and probably one of my better shots of the day. Actually I think I hit 8-iron on all 3 par 3s. Slung it out right, caught the wind, and it came down from just so high. This thing was in the stratosphere, and left myself, you know, a pretty reasonable little birdie effort. I did well actually just to carry that up to the flag, because it was a back flag on a bit of a tier, so any miscalculation would have left me pretty screwed. The putt itself was pretty straight. So when I stood over it I thought, yeah, let's give this one a go, and as soon as I hit it I knew I'd left it short, and again pretty disgusted with myself for leading myself a really good birdie chance and not capitalising on it. So how many holes have I played now? Played 6, level par, but really not that happy with myself at this point. This is a 330 yard par 4 down the hill, wind with, absolutely just go at it, hit it on the green, walk off like a hero. That was the plan anyway. Nope, pretty whiffy, got really high off the club face and went right, left myself this shot, where I was pretty much just chipping back across because the wind had helped it so much. I didn't want to fly it through the air because there was no way to land it, so I tried to play that run, almost hit the hole, but ran out. Left myself this putt, really quite tricky one, left to right, and well, you can expect this. That is middle of the hole, middle of the hole, middle of the hole. No, it's not. I couldn't believe it. I was so angry that putt missed, and by this point in the round I am just so frustrated. So stand up on the 17th tee. It's again, I think this is about 190, but it's downhill, so I went 8-iron again, wind with, and this is easily my best shot of the afternoon. Again, hit this 8-iron into the stratosphere, so high, great strike, and this thing is tracking the whole way. The wind really didn't get to it, left or right. It came down 4 foot along the flag, checked back, left myself this to get my birdie and to go under par. No issues whatsoever, banged it back of the cup, thank you very much, 1 under. Another really good drive here, felt confident over this. Never used to be able to hit cuts with my driver, and just through practice and playing around, being able to get it now. So licked it just off the left hand side into the right. So I thought, yeah, let's just press on now. 3 wood, into wind, it'll go up, but it'll be okay. Gets me down there, leaves me a good opportunity. Again, really usually confident with this club. I said the other day I don't feel like I can hit a bad shot. That was awful. Pretty much a top. I don't really know how to describe it, but you know, in that position, just got under par. I was disgusted again with myself Fortunately, it had run out quite a lot because the fairways were actually fairly firm. Considering the amount of rain we've had, they had just had a cut, I think. Left myself this shot. Again, I went with that punch 9 iron because this plays similar to the other par 5, straight into wind. Again, do you know what? I thought I hit a really good shot there, but as soon as it got anywhere in the air, the wind just absolutely smashed into it, and I was just left front of the green with a pretty long putt to finish the round. Definitely not the kind of putt you want to leave yourself. Having said that, you know, continued my bang average putting form, just missing, but good pace, and left myself that tap in for par. So finished those 9 holes 1 under, which obviously you've got to be pretty happy with considering the weather, but at the same time, you know, you can't leave yourself that many birdie opportunities and not convert them. So if you managed to make it this far into the video, thank you very much for watching. I hope that maybe gave you a bit of an insight into where I think around a golf course, or what I think of my game at the moment. There's certainly some stuff that I need to work on, particularly with those opportunities to get birdies that I'm not taking. So yeah, thanks again for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, follow, whatever you need to do. But we'll see you again for the next episode. Cheers.